Thank you all for coming once more. I'm glad that you were able to make it today. Um, and to those that are not here, I wish they will understand and benefit from this at some point when they listen to our talk. The reason I called all of you, you're aware of it, is because every now and then I try to do, put children and youths together to discuss one or two things. And recently, there was a survey. I think, do you know about this organization called Save the Students? Save the Students. Have you heard of that? Okay, there was a survey recently, National Student Money Survey, which says that about 78% of students experience financial stress, which is serious, isn't it? That they experience financial stress. So that it means that when a student is stressed up by financial, you know what it means. So you can't afford buying all your wigs, all your shoes, expensive trainers, shoes, clothes, and all that. When you can't afford that, and you're thinking about lectures and all that, sometimes you're not happy. And when you're not happy, you won't be listening to lecturers. Sometimes you can even avoid going to classes, which I'm against anyway. Nothing should stop you from attending unless you're seriously ill. So to avoid going into depression because you don't have money, not attending lectures, which is the most important reason you're there, it is important to really bring you guys once in a while to talk about how you can save money when you are in uni, the things you could do to help you, to save money, so you are able to, lead a good life, socialize at the same time, know how to, cope when you don't have money, and the things you could do to help you really settle in uni even without a lot of money. So I've just called you, to get ideas. It's going to be an interactive one. So we will chat. If you have, don't be shy. If you have experienced financial, even some of you in A levels, final year A levels, yes, you're preparing to go to uni. Some of you here are in uni already. You finish your first year, you are going to second year now. And some of you are also in going to third year now. You must have experienced something, one thing or the other, with regards to, finance while you are in uni. So it would be a very good help, to all the other ones that are just going into uni now. So I want us to share ideas. Just give us ideas of maybe if there has been a time that you were really, out of money when you were in uni, how did it feel? And what are the lessons you learned from that? And how were you able to cope? And what are the things you did to really avoid staying out of money while you are in uni? I would like the ones who are in uni already to start the conversation, give us this gist about, how you started. I know that the first year you would think, oh, it's okay, and all that, and then by the time you knew it, you're out of cash.
Yeah.
So yeah, do you want to start?
Yeah. Okay. So basically, when I first went to uni, the first thing I did was make sure that I had food. So I started off with food shopping and made sure that my rent was paid. So I knew that if I ever ran out of money, those were the things that I had. And I tried not to do too much shopping that I thought was unnecessary. So like things like clothes shopping and buying new trainers. If I didn't feel like I needed it there and then, I tried to avoid doing it. I also tried to look for a part-time job, but where I semester, there wasn't much going at the time. And I think because of the time I started 6 months later than everyone else. So it was like everyone else had already taken the position. So I kind of just had to money manage and see how it went. But I learned from my first term that money does run out quickly, and you really have to put money aside to make sure that if anything ever went wrong, you have money there for a rainy day. So just make sure that you have the essentials, so your rent is paid and you have food shopping. And yeah, thank you.
So that first experience that
Yeah,
you know
it really
ran out
hit
of
you,
money.
yeah.
What did you? Was there any excessive buying or planned that you didn't plan very well?
Yeah. So it's like not really managing money well. So you kind of, I'd say some people when they go to uni kind of get excited, but because I was working before I went to uni, like, I had savings,
Okay.
so it wasn't a problem for me. But it can be easy to spend unnecessarily.
You see?
Very easy to spend
See what
and you end up wasting a lot of money.
Yeah. See, she is even better. She worked and she saved,
Yeah.
plus the finance, and she ran out of money. So that's why this discussion is important today. So if people who already saved could run out of money, so it's serious, that we need to listen to everything that she had to say today. So I just got one thing there. She said managing. She learned her lesson, isn't it? And then she knew how to prioritize. She said, hello, come in. Sit down here, sit down. How are you?
Thank you.
Good. Thanks for coming. We just began.
Okay.
We're talking about how to save money,
Yeah.
while you're in uni. Because a lot of people, have problems now with finances when they're in school,
Yeah.
and it stresses them up. It stops them from reading when they don't have money. You know how it is, So I just brought a few people to talk about it. For those that couldn't come, they will read it, they will see it, hear it, and learn from it how to save money. So we're trying to, it's an interactive one. People are bringing experiences and how they ran into money, financial difficulty, what happened, and how they came out of it. So that's where we were before you came in. So thank you. You can have help yourself with snacks and some drinks. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. So yes. She just finished saying about how she ran out of money when she's still in uni at the first year, even though she saved already. She was working before she went to uni, so you can imagine somebody who had already saved, was the student finance and all that. She wasn't able to manage the money. Then she ran out of cash, and she was giving us advice on how she managed to come out of it, and then what she's doing now, she's managing it all right, but she has to plan what she wants to buy. That's where we are. So yeah, joining. Has anyone got any other thing to say to help us? Oh, did you finish your?
Yeah.
You did. Yeah. Thank you. Another uni person. Final year.
Yeah, when I started uni, like I worked the summer before, so like I had money.
So are you going final year or second year?
Second.
Oh yeah, that's true. Sorry.
Yeah, so like when I first started, like I had a job, like I had a summer job, so I had money already. But with that money, I didn't really save it. I literally just spent it like straight away. So because I like to buy stuff like all the time, so that didn't really help. And because my student finance is quite low as well, I feel like before uni started, I kind of had to like look at my student finance. Like I knew it wasn't gonna like pay my rent or anything, so it was like I had to live off my student finance. And when I first went to uni, I didn't have a job, so it was literally just like all I had was my student finance. Like I didn't really look for a job, so it was a thing of like I had to think about what did I need. I put a budget away for like food and stuff, but I feel like I wasted a lot of money first term, especially. Like I wasted a lot of money. I feel like because like where I go to uni, I didn't take the bus or anything. I literally got a cab everywhere. Like I wasted a lot of money. Like I could have, like thinking about it, I could have saved a lot more money, but then yeah, I spent a lot of money unnecessarily. I feel like second term, I got a job in second term, and as I said, my student finance wasn't really doing anything. So it was a thing of like, I was living off the money from my job because I worked a lot. Like I worked Monday to Friday at one point, so that was all right. But it depends on your timetable and everything. So you need to look at it like if your timetable is a lot, you're not really gonna have a lot of time to work. So if it's just your student finance, it's a thing of like you need to budget your student finance as well, and you need to save. Another thing with like, as you said, like having food as well, like that's another thing. Like have food always. Like have food that's like that doesn't go off quickly. Like
freezer.
Yeah, like food you can freeze and stuff. Because I wasted a lot of money on food. Because it was a thing of like I bought food, I didn't really eat it. I wasted like a lot of food. Like I'd go food shopping like maybe every 2 weeks, maybe.
As if you are with 4 people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
another thing.
just you alone.
Like you tend to overspend on food. I ended up throwing away like a lot of food, and like adding it all up, that's another thing. Like all that money could have gone to something else. But yeah, it's a thing of like looking back. I feel like this year when I go to uni, I need to manage my money like a lot better. So it's a thing of like looking at your budget and like managing it. Maybe another thing is like having a weekly budget. That's another thing that I did that kind of helped.
Good, yes, weekly budget.
Yeah.
Very important. Not everyday shopping. Like if you discipline yourself, even in a home, you can see some parents shop once a month if they could. Some parents shop once a week. So it's not that you don't starve. You know that this is going to, if this finishes, we are going shopping after 2 days or 3 days, so you know how to manage it. But when you tend to buy every day, isn't it? You go every maybe 3 days in a week, you're shopping. And like he said, some of it you won't eat and it will run out of date and you throw away. So that is just not a good way of saving money, is it? So we've learned that at least weekly shopping, or it's up to you how you plan your life. If you're not that kind of person that shops a lot, I mean in terms of food or something, you could just buy a few things that could go in the freezer for 2 weeks, so you're just within the campus and not going to look for where you buy things, and yes, who else wants to help? I know you just came in there.
Yeah, I have something. So in terms of like saving money, I feel like when I bought stuff in bulk as well, it helped me save money. Like buying pasta in a big size and buying like rice in a big size to make it last longer, and to like store it in the freezer. Like whenever I come back from the library or something and I want to eat, rather than buying food to go to the library, which I would usually do. So that was something that helped me save money, and also like walking instead of like taking the bus as well at uni. It helped like save money, and that's the only thing I can think of right now. Yeah.
Okay, buying in bulk, like
Yeah, like
food.
rice and yeah.
That's a good one. Have you guys learned from the uni students?
Yeah.
So what do you have? They are not the only ones that are always financially have to come from bankrupt. I know. Some of you also buy a lot, isn't it? You really shop a lot. You buy a lot, even when it's unnecessary. So tell us your experience and
Okay, basically, because I don't have anything, I have nothing to pay for, so I just think the money I have is always just for me. So I'll spend it on like I get cab too much as well, and then cause I'm just like I don't have the ideal saving. When I want to save, it's like I'll save, but then I'll put money like in my savings account. Then I'll be like, okay, my other account is running low. Let me just transfer from my savings, and then I look back at my savings and the money's gone. Like I spent it all, and then also as well I buy like for every occasion I'll buy a new outfit. I'll buy new clothes, and then I don't wear it again. It's just wasting more money. But because I don't think like I don't have to budget for food, I have to budget for this. So
Yeah.
I just don't think accordingly to how I budget my stuff.
Okay, so you know from what you have said now that
Yeah, I know I spend a lot of money, but I just find it hard to stop.
okay. Okay, so you have said the truth now.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. Knowing what you're doing that is wrong is the first step, isn't it? To solving the problem. Yeah. So it's good that you have really understood that excessive buying is not necessary. It should be avoided. Yeah. That's good that you have identified that. Then we will talk about how you can, because before you know it, you are in uni already.
Yeah.
It's a few months now. So if you check the money you have spent, now in like getting cab when you could just hop into a bus, and go where you're supposed to be going to and come back, you know that it's not worth it. Every money now counts for you towards your uni. So you need to start planning. You need to start saving now towards your uni. And like buying, I was also a victim. I behaved that way also, even when I was younger. I wish I was advised. I keep telling my children rightly not to be excessively spending. I was buying. I'm telling you, I buy clothes. If I like one clothes, I'll get 4 colors of it. I don't care. If I love shoes, I'll buy 3 pairs of the same kind of shoes. That's how bad I was when I was in uni. So I would dress. If this week I wear jeans, it will be jeans this week in school. White jeans will be like 5 different white jeans or black. And that's how I used to dress, and it really was bad. But nobody stops you because of the family I come from. It's like you want to, get the money. If not, the other person will take it. You must get it. So we were just like dragging our father because we were quite a lot. So when you get it, what are you doing with it? Spending it. So it was wrong. Because I had friends in the uni then that were able to buy plots of land. With that kind of amount of money, you will not understand the currency, and we're just like, I should go to do with land, and all that. But that one, if I had used it to buy land in those days, now I would have resold it or used it meaningfully. So that's when I talk to them from my experience. They should listen, and I hope that all of you will not be victim anymore. If you have little money, keep it. Why can't you buy a house as soon as you finish uni? You can, out of your savings. Really, it's true. So there is no point in going to this party today, tomorrow. Your friends are your friends. They know who you are. They know your worth. So what are you trying to show? So that you wear this dress, you won't wear it again where your friends are from. The other ones in that party didn't see you in this other party or something like that. So it's only your friends. So why don't you repeat a dress after 1 month or so? So, that is one way of trying to save money, and be very wise, when you're spending. Has any other person got something else to say to help us?
I would say even if you go to like a uni in London, still shouldn't get excited with the money that you have, because I'm now going to uni in London, but I still have to pay my own rent. So even though I'm not paying rent in a student accommodation, I'm paying rent at home.
Which is good. It's discipline,
Yeah. So I always make sure I work as well. I work part time, so I always make sure on payday, my mum gets her money and I've paid all my bills. So even if you're in London, just still make sure that you think right about how you're spending your money. I still don't get excited about like just having the money, because I was still doing clothes shopping when I moved back home. But now I've realised I don't need a new outfit for every event, like you say. And I've started to limit myself to £50 a week, and it's actually working. So I feel like you should always set a weekly budget, and even if you do have to go over it, try not to go over it too much, but only if you need to, if that makes sense.
And like you said now, even if your mom or your dad is not taking rent from you, be wise and find out how much the rent will be and be saving it. Just pretend you are paying
Yeah.
rent. It's going to be very helpful in future. You'll be pleased that you did it. Yeah? Okay, so any other thing from no, really? Nobody?
One more thing, I think sometimes leaving your card at home as well can help. Like if you bring out a certain amount and say that you're only spending a certain amount, that helps. Because I feel like with contactless, just you just tap it anytime you need to. So it makes you spend more because you're not really realizing how much you're spending. Like £3, but it adds up. Yeah.
I know, that's
So
true.
that's why I think picking up money sometimes kind of helps.
Leaving card at home, very important. That's a good one. If you know you're that sort that can't really, discipline yourself or be responsible, at least to that extent of not buying, anything you see, just keep your card. Take how much you think would be enough for you, and then keep your card at home. Thank you. That's a very good one. Okay. And I was in a bus the other day. 2 students, they are uni students. They were talking about smoking. They were really, you could see that they were worried. This, one of them said, I don't know how many sticks of cigarettes is in a pack. I don't know. And she said if she could stop smoking, that she thinks she will save a lot of money. So she said, I spend, she's £5. I don't know, I was marking papers in the bus while they were discussing. I was just like, it's dropping. And then she times it by week, how many sticks a pack that she can smoke in a week, how much it is costing her, and then she times it by a month, and she said she was spending £250. Yeah. And then when I heard 250, I was like, I didn't know when I turned. So 2 things there. She's killing herself because I'm not a medical person. From medical point of view, cigarette kills. Cigarette is dangerous to her health, and I always say I can't use my money to kill myself, So she's practically using her own hard-earned money to also kill herself. Once she's running out of money at uni, which depresses her when she hasn't got money, and then she's using it to buy, not something that she's wearing on her body or anything. She's using it to smoke. And I feel so sorry for her because she's realized it, and she was telling that her friend, she wished she could stop, to smoke, that she calculated it and she's seen how much it's really taking over wages or whatever at uni. £250 almost, she said almost £250 a month for cigarette. So, I mean, youths out there, if you are one of those that smoke in uni, and that is one of the reasons why you are always out of money or run out of money in uni, please try, if not for anything, try and stop it because of your health, because it's important that you eat wisely and healthily. Cigarette is not advisable. We've been told severally and continuously that cigarette is dangerous to our health. So there's no point buying cigarette that will cost you 200 and something pounds, like I had, a month, while you are studying. Sometimes it even affects your understanding, your concentration in school, or when you're studying. Excessive cigarette can even cause a lack of understanding also. So it's really, really not advisable at all to smoke. But being adults or young adults, I think they were more than 18, they were about 20 years old, so they have the right to decide what they want to do, for themselves. I think their parents also can't advise them because they are adults, they've grown. So, but I'm speaking to whoever is in that situation to please seek advice, on how to stop smoking for the sake of your health, even if you think you have money. But when you are in uni, that money goes a long way to really help you instead of really destroying your health. Thank you. I hope you guys are really listening out there, for especially those that couldn't come and those that are out there, not knowing that this sort of thing exists, I really am using this media now to speak to some of you, so that you will learn from your mistakes. So, have we got any other thing to say? Anybody? Any other contribution? Because I'm trying to round up.
I think making a savings account helps as well, especially if you work like at first I didn't have a savings account when I started working, so all the money was going into my main account, and then couldn't keep track of like how much I was spending a month.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I would look back at the month, I would realise that I've spent a lot of money, but I wouldn't be noticing as I spend it. So now I opened a savings account, so when I get paid, I just put like 60% of it into my savings account, and then only like keep 40% inside, or sometimes I put like 70% into my savings account, and then only 30% to like spend for like the month, and then I keep doing that every month. So then my savings account is like increasing, and then what I'm spending is kind of I'm minimizing what I'm spending.
That's a good one also, having a savings account, so that even when you have your student finance money coming into your main one, you transfer some into your savings account, so that like that, you are not overspending. That's
But
a
I
good.
think with a savings account, you also have to make sure that you're not transferring out.
Yeah.
Because I used to transfer money, I get paid into my savings and then transfer some of it into my main. But then when I was running out in my main, I just used to transfer again from my
From
savings.
savings.
So you just have to kind of discipline yourself and make sure that you don't transfer more than you want to. So if you transfer like 30% or 40% to your main account and actually try and budget and live off that for the month, just make sure you don't dip back into your savings.
That's a good one. Try to discipline yourself so you don't go back to your savings to get. So the money that you really need should be the one you have in your main account,
Yeah.
so that savings one you don't touch it. Okay, so we had that, yeah. Okay, so there are a few points here. First, what we've talked reasonably on all the points, and it's good. It's just coming from, I would say, the horse's mouth, because it's coming directly from all the students, the final year students, university students, second year university students, final year A-level students. They're all here. So yes, I'm happy that you all attended. So you take back the information to your friends, your colleagues, that this is what they need to be doing. And one other thing I need to emphasize on is one of the things you said here: priority. You have to prioritize your the things you buy. So you would list whatever you want to buy, list them, and after listing them, go through them again, start changing the order you have listed them to see which is more important, and pick those ones. And then maybe later come back to these ones. Important. It's very important that you list whatever you want to buy. Every time you're going shopping, you list it. I don't do that much, but I just realized that it's quite helpful when you list the things you want to buy. Buy those ones first, and then even grocery.
Yeah.
And then look for other before you start, snacks and all that. Buy the most important bit. One other thing is going on window shopping. Window shopping is a killer, isn't it? It's a killer. If you go window shopping, I don't like window shopping, because I never go window shopping and come back without picking one thing. So I'm becoming very disciplined. I'm disciplining myself with regards to that aspect. So the thing about students also is window shopping. Let me just go. I don't want to buy anything, but let's go to New Look, because we don't like Marks and Spencer. I know it's for old people like us. That's what you always say. So you like New Look or Next or whatever. Oh my God, no. Oh, this is especially sales. Oh, so this is, they add up, £60 reduced to £20. Oh no, I'm getting this. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. By the time you know it, your bag is full, isn't it? You're coming out with about £100 worth of unplanned buying, and you're being grumpy as if anybody forced you, but you're still carrying it back home. So yes, avoid, especially sales, unless you don't want to buy from the beginning of the year. You're writing the close. I have a friend that does that. She's writing what she wants during sales. Those are the things she's going to pick. and those things will be what she wants to use for the other season. That's how she shops. I just hope I'm able to do that, you know. So she does not buy anyhow any time. She buys during sales, but she will list whatever she doesn't have, you know. That's what she buys.
Yeah.
So it's important also that we don't buy because oh, it's sales and it's cheap. No, buy when like you really need it. It's not because it's cheap and that there are sales. Okay, so again, anticipate or predict that you're going to run out of money. And that should be the first one anyway. Always have in mind, this is not being pessimistic really or anything. Have in mind that, oh, I might run out of money. When you have this in mind, it will even direct the other way, the other ones, listing of the things you want to buy and all that. Okay, so predict that, you know, there will be a financial problem. So for that, let me know how I can begin to save from now. It's when you just think like, what happened to yourself, and so when you never thought it's going to happen and it happens, you find yourself in that confused situation. That's when it becomes bad. But when you have it in mind, you know, like, oh no, I don't want to run into problems, financial problems. It might happen, then you'll be able to sort it on time. So that's one. Another one, well, when you find yourself in that situation, please, I beg you, don't manage it alone. Because a lot of students have gone into depression because of trying to keep it. Some of them, because their mom will shout at them, they won't even disclose it to their mom that they don't have money in school, in uni, and they are suffering. Depression comes, they won't even go to classes weeks and weeks, and they drop out of school just because of that. Do not think you can manage it alone. Disclose it to your mom, your dad. They will shout at you, but they are your moms, they are your dads. They will call you, I'm paying £50 into your account, or I'll pay £100 into your account. Some of them will pay maybe £200 and say, listen, as soon as your money comes, you are giving me back £100 out of the 200 I gave to you. They just want to discipline you, so next time you know how to handle money. So, but do not think, oh, my mom will kill me or my dad will kill me. I won't say it, because you're causing more problems, you know, to yourselves. Try to, you know, to say it to your parents, because if you don't say it, who else will help you? Now, what you don't tell your father or your mom, you will tell a friend, or you will tell somebody who is not related to you that will mislead you, right? So try and talk to your, don't even, no matter how difficult or how, I don't know the word I want to use now, you think harsh or so your parents are, they will not kill you. They will shout, they will be annoyed, but they will just, they can't help you. They'll just give you, and they'll keep phoning. Oh, so how are you now? You know, how are you going to cope now? You know, what, have warned you severally and all that. Next minute, they'll just pay some money into your account. Yeah? So do not think you can do it yourself. Yeah? Please, just try to speak to your parents about it before telling a friend. Okay, like two of you said about extra income, very important also. But the thing I want to say about having extra income when you are in uni is, I want to advise that you know your ability, know your strength with regards to academics. Some people might get a job and it will affect their reading. Do you understand? So if you know your strength, then if you know you can cope with working 2 days a week, or evenings while you are in uni, fine. If you know that you can't cope with reading, going for lectures, coming back, and then going to work in the evening, when you come back, you're so tired, and then you can't meet up morning lecture the following morning and all that, just try and manage the little money you have and focus on your academics, because that is very important. When you graduate, you're going to get a higher paid job than that. So yes, the only reason why we're talking about getting extra income is just if you can cope, and it's still helpful, very helpful, to support you. But if you think that I can't cope, with academics and work. Please don't. Right? That's my advice. Don't. I'm not going to talk about the next one on his is borrow. I don't want to talk about it at your stage, but I know that some students borrow money from the bank. Then when their finance comes, they put back. But the danger in that is that when you borrow money from the bank, you are spending that money. You might spend over the amount, and then when your student finance comes, you're paying back and you're left with nothing. Do you understand? Or you're left barely just a little that will not even last for about 3 weeks, and you come back to financial problems again. So I don't like talking too much about borrowing wisely. It's not even good advisable for students to borrow unless your mom or your dad is in support, so that whenever your money comes and all of it goes back to the money you have loaned, your parents can be able to support you until another financial year comes in, and then your money is in there. But if not, I don't advise the borrowing one. It's really not advisable. Try to avoid it if you really can. And another thing I want to emphasize on is cooking. You don't buy so much ready-made food, because then, like you said, it goes off out of date when you have not even opened some parts. It just goes out of date. Try and learn to cook. Cook even pasta, rice. Can cook, even if you cook lasagna or bolognese, or it can stay 2 days in the freezer or so, it helps you to save a lot of money. If you make stew and put in the freezer, it can last a week, it can last a month. Then with stew, you can use it to cook, eat pasta, or rice, or beans, or whatever. You can use stew, and then maybe your pasta you can put some pasta sauce, bake it in the oven, and that can last 2 days for you. Just cooked food will last more and make you save more money than take away food. It will really help you a lot. And I know that all of you can cook all this food. The only thing is most of you might not be able to to cook what African parents cook, like our native food and all that. But you know how to cook all the rice, pasta bake and all that, potato bake and all that. So all these ones will help you to save a lot of money, right? So yeah, that's me done with you guys. I hope you really got something out of today's meeting, and that you would go home, advise your friends, and talk about it to people, how they can manage life at uni. Okay? So I want to thank all of you once more for coming. It really tells me that you are serious about things about uni, how you can better your life, save some money, and also get some ideas to take back home and advise some friends. Thank you very much. Has anyone got any other thing to say? No? Thank you.